In what has been a whirlwind month for F1 team names, the widely derided name Stake F1 Team Kick Sauber is now gone, replaced by the simpler but still incredibly problematic name Stake F1 Team. The overinflated team name was mocked on social media for being uninteresting and an absolute mouthful, and with the F1 commentary teams likely to revert to simply calling them Sauber, the new sponsors wanted to simplify and get their own brand into the mouths of the commentators. But the new Stake F1 name is going to cause big problems for the team as the season goes on. Today, I'll check out why the team changed name and how they'll get around the huge problems that their company will face on the F1 calendar. The Stake F1 team will be revealing their first car and livery on the 5th of February, as Formula One shakes off its winter weariness. Behind the new crypto gambling streaming platform front, the factory, equipment, personnel, and car will still be a Sauber. This means we'll still be seeing Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Guanyu behind the wheels of the cars, and Andreas Seidel will still be heading up the team from the pit wall. The car will be new, but only in the way that every other team will have a new car for 2024. So don't expect them to suddenly be catapulted into podium contenders, unless they manage to pull off an Aston Martin over the winter break. For those of you who aren't familiar with Formula One and its naming rights, then just imagine it like being any other team moving, such as the Oakland Raiders moving to Las Vegas in 2020. They might have changed names, but they're still the same poorly performing team. If you're watching from the UK, then the best example that comes to mind is Wimbledon FC's move to Milton Keynes back in 2003. In both cases, the team had the same staff, just a different name. While this doesn't happen often in more traditional field sports, with F1's teams not being localized in the same way, they're free to sell their names to the highest bidders. For the second team name launch, the announcement said that it will be the beginning of a brand new, dynamic and exciting era, one that breaks away from conventional concepts of sports and entertainment sponsorship. It aims to redefine marketing activations in an exciting manner, leaving no tradition untouched and challenging the status quo. In this innovative approach, excitement is the new currency for what promises to be one of the most engaging teams on the grid. While sponsors changing and team names altering during the off-season isn't that uncommon in F1. Having one team change their name twice is pretty rare, so why did the team name itself Stake F1 Team Kick Sauber first, before renaming it again to Stake F1 Team? Well, the first iteration of the name was ridiculed by fans. Stake F1 Team Kick Sauber might be the worst team name in Formula One history, one fan wrote on X. Sounds like a meal order you'll ask for in a restaurant. It doesn't sound right, added another. Everyone will just refer to them as Sauber anyway, a third rightly remarked. The Stake and Kick brands are both owned by Edward Craven and Bijan Tarani. The two made their money in cryptocurrency before launching the Stake online casino. Kick is a streaming platform that is essentially used as an advertising tool for Stake, with the world's largest live streaming site, Twitch, banning the streaming of gambling and having strict nudity rules. Kick has marketed itself as the new home for those wanting to stream themselves gambling, and a lot of the time, those streamers are gambling on Stake. The biggest name you'll know from the platform is Drake. The music artist is a huge gambler, and is paid $100 million a year by Kick to stream on the platform. With both brands owned by the same people, they clearly saw the chance to get both companies into the F1 team's name. It was Bijan Tarani who responded to the massive online criticism of the team's name, and decided that a change was necessary. With the Sauber name still being in the title, everyone was always going to refer to them as the historic racing brand. There was no way the commentary team were going to wrap their lips around Stake F1 Team Kick Sauber every time something exciting happened on track. So to make the most of their investment, Ed and Bijan have renamed the team to Stake F1. This is going to cause problems though. With the company being an online casino, laws that limit the advertising of gambling are going to be a big problem. Though Sauber calls its sponsor a betting lifestyle and entertainment brand, Stake is a crypto casino that offers participants a platform where they can gamble with cryptocurrency. Formula One is a global sport, and many of the countries have blanket bans on gambling and the advertising of it. The list where the Stake brand could be banned likely includes Bahrain, China, Brazil, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Singapore, Japan, and Qatar. There's also talk that the Netherlands could be a problem as well, as famous people aren't allowed to promote gambling there. Australia also has very strict rules about gambling advertising, which means the team may have to make changes there as well. That's already 9 races where the name Stake F1 team will cause legal problems for the team. The car will be covered in advertisements for the gambling company. as will all of the team's equipment, motorhomes, transport, and everything else you can think of that travels around the world with an F1 team. So in the countries where gambling advertising is prohibited, the team will be known as Kick F1 Team. While the streaming platform is an advertising hub for Stake, Kick itself is not a gambling website, so should subvert any advertising laws. Changing names is only the start of the battle though. The team will have to change their livery and cover up all mentions of Stake on team apparel and in the garage. It'll be an absolutely Herculean task for the team to resolve at over a third of the races in 2024. The team did deal with this issue to a lesser extent in 2023, when Stake were a sponsor on the car, but in 2024, it will be a far bigger problem. This isn't the first time that an F1 team have had to deal with questionable sponsorship throughout the calendar. The cigarette company Marlboro was a long-time sponsor of the Ferrari F1 team until Formula 1 banned the advertisement of cigarettes in 2006. It was actually cigarette companies that bought sponsorship to Formula 1 in the first place, with Team Gunston back in 1968. Philip Morris International, the parent company of Marlboro, weren't happy about the ban, and ever since the ban have been trying to find ways to get their sponsorship onto the Ferrari cars. Marlboro first started sponsoring Ferrari back in 1973, ramping up over the following decades until it became the team's principal sponsor in 1993. The Italian squad changed its official name to Scuderia Ferrari Marlboro after the brand left McLaren in 1997. After the ban on advertising, Philip Morris and Ferrari found increasingly obscure ways to keep some semblance of the logo on the car, but finally gave up the ghost in 2011, when they officially dropped Marlboro from the team's name. The two continue to have close ties past that though, with Philip Morris still pumping money into the team. Mission Win Now was the most recent incarnation of the continued sponsorship. Mission Win Now made vague statements about researching future technology, but are essentially a shell of a company with a logo that looks vaguely like the Marlboro logo. They were Marlboro's way of getting around the cigarette advertising ban, but in the past couple of years, the sponsor has basically disappeared as Mission Win Now was banned from being shown at certain races. The Stake Kick branding swaps will be interesting to see. Will they have two completely different sets of car parts so they can swap them when Stake isn't allowed to be shown? What will happen when someone in the team inevitably slips up and says the wrong name at a race? It's going to be a difficult problem for the team to solve. While the finer details of the team's name and sponsorship will need resolving, we do have a pretty good idea of what the livery will look like. Their Instagram page with a 9-post announcement of the car reveal date is in neon green and black, which matches the branding of Kick, hinting that it might be the Kick color scheme that takes center stage on the new car. Whatever the car looks like, the constant changing and hiding of gambling sponsorship is going to be a big problem for the team to deal with in 2024. How do you feel about the new team name? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and until next time, drive safe and bye for now.